Good afternoon, everybody. So it's the first of my lives this week, and we're just going to invite Lesley to join us. So Lesley is a fantastic nutritionist, an all-round beautiful human who is, I'm just sending a request, who specialises in helping women post-menopause ditch their symptoms and feel amazing inside of ashes. So I'm really glad to have Lesley on today for a little quick chat over lunchtime, covering how to manage your energy at menopause. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, my lovely friends. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad at all. I'm literally, it's one of those days, when you're flying between things.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's what we like, isn't it?
Yeah, busy. I literally just stepped in the door 7 minutes ago from a little mini holiday that I've had with my family. So I was literally like, quick, get on.
Where have you been?
Not far, just on the coast from where we are, which is about 40 minutes away, staying with some friends for a couple of nights. So it's been good fun having that little break. But now back to it. Back to the serious stuff.
Fab. Yay! Back to sort of working with all your lovely clients. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So we're talking about how to manage your energy at menopause today, aren't we?
We are. Because it's one of those that so many women sort of get so fatigued, so exhausted, and just sort of like really worn out and don't know what to do about it. So that's what we're covering today. So that's uber cool.
Yeah, because I guess, do you find a lot of the time that they kind of drift into that state and they just think, well, this is how it has to be. I'm getting older, and losing your energy and feeling tired and less motivated is almost like the normal.
Yeah, completely. And it doesn't have to be. There are some reasons why at menopause we maybe feel more fatigued. And partly that's to do with some of the symptoms that we're having that actually can impact with sleep. Sometimes it's to do with the shifting in hormones, and progesterone in particular helps support with sleep and that really restful sleep. So we've got that going on as well. Sometimes it's linked to things like, as we get older, we're more likely to be taking medication or have got some underlying health condition. So again, they can fatigue us, and they need to just be managed as well as you can. Also, when we're in menopause and beyond, we lose some of the estrogen's brilliant at regulating so many systems and so many other hormones, and it helps to support and protect our pancreatic cells, which release insulin. So it's really important to get your blood sugars sort of within norms and not have these big highs and lows of basically starving yourself and then eating lots of sort of like foods that are very quickly released to the body that then causes this insulin response. So sometimes it is what we eat and how we manage our eating times. Some of it can be lifestyle, what we think that our bodies can do what they did in their 20s and 30s. And I was actually talking to a gentleman about this yesterday who is early 50s and got fatigue, and talking about that whole thing of, it's a bit like, I always think of it, it's a bit like an inheritance. And through our 20s and 30s, through late nights, partying, living our lives, we take a bit more and a bit more and a bit more of this inheritance out. And then we get in our late 40s, 50s, I know you're only early 40s, you're just a babe, aren't you? But it's like, oh my God, I've got nothing in reserve. And it's like, I need to start putting things back in the bank. So there's that as well. So there's lots of stuff. We also have glamorized busy, haven't we? Like, you've just gone, oh, I fit this in today. I've literally been like that. Look like I'm tearing my hair out because I've literally sent my client that I've been working with this morning all of her stuff because I wanted to have it before we came on. So I think we're like that as well. We've glamorized being busy and be almost quite hyped and that is no good for our energy as well. So there's lots in the pot, all bubbling away. But there's lots we can do.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Especially what you just said about glamorizing being busy. And I was speaking to a client this week who's having that kind of a thought process now about what is life all about, when everybody just seems to say, how's your week been? Oh yeah, really busy. As if it's like, you know, a little bit
Yeah,
of a medal. It's just, that doesn't mean it's a good thing, does it? It's okay to be
not
busy
at
at times.
all.
This constant pushing ourselves and pressure. And yes, I love what you said about the inheritance thing. It's like you just keep going through
Yeah,
life and keep through life thinking that you're going to be the same forever, but your body's getting that a little bit more like, oh my gosh, you're still doing this, you're still doing this, you're still doing this. And you get to
yeah,
like our age and it
completely.
starts to go, no, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
So like,
completely.
what would you say for anybody that's watching this now or catching up later? What kind of problems do you see with people's energy that people might kind of dismiss or overlook? Can you think of any kind of, like, even if it's two or three signs?
So waking up not refreshed and doing
Yeah,
that on a regular basis is one of them. Having afternoon energy slumps or getting that over reliance on things like caffeine, or having snacks and caffeine in the middle of the afternoon just to get you power yourself through to the end of the day.
yeah,
Um, Actually being fatigued after you've eaten. So that's sort of giving us a clue that actually what you're eating at that meal actually isn't hitting the buttons for you. And then that whole thing about being tired but wired. So, going to bed and trying to set really good routines to go to sleep, but actually you're wide awake as soon as your head hits the pillow. So there are a few things there that tell.
this is when I'm never sure if it's my internet or Leslie's. Let's just give it another minute and see if it sorts itself out. But that is good advice. So if you're waking up not refreshed, which I think we've all been there at some point in our lives, especially like the one where you can feel really sluggish and tired after your meals. Oh, she's just dropped off, she'll be back in a minute. Also that feeling that when late at night, when you go to bed and then you suddenly feel like you're really awake. I've had that sort of mid to late evening where you think, oh, I'm going to go to bed soon, and then suddenly you start to get this sudden burst of energy. Let me see if I can invite Lesley back in. And these are all signs that you're not managing your body's not managing its energy levels very well. Oh, you froze at Leslie's end. Yeah, Leslie's back now.
All right, I couldn't tell. All I could see was you buffering. I didn't know if it was you or me. So I
You
was
never
talking
tell.
into the void.
Yeah, Maz is saying she thinks it was yours. Anyway, then you vanished. It's fine. I did a little recap because I love those tips. The morning when you wake up not refreshed, after meals when you get that
Yeah,
awful slump, um, the late evening one is you go to bed, suddenly you want to party when you probably dragged yourself through the evening. I've had that one.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then that's as far as we got.
Right, okay. There's also what your body's telling you craving wise for food. So if you're craving things that are very easily absorbed and quite high energy, that's again giving us a bit of an indication that um, you know what, your nutrients are not in the right place. You sort of need to look at that. But yeah, so yeah, there are a few different things.
Yeah, that's really worth knowing, isn't it? Because these things can become habits, and it's a bit like when you might have like a little bit of a minor injury and you just keep ignoring it and ignoring it, and you've had it for like 2 or 3 months, it's not got any better, but then you almost forget that you didn't have it
Yeah,
before. So it almost is like something you start to live with and accept. And it's the same, isn't it, with your energy highs and lows? If that becomes part of your routine, that you never wake up refreshed, or when you go to bed you suddenly become very alert, or 10-15 minutes after you eat a meal you feel really tired, you just start thinking, well, this is normal,
yeah,
when it's not. It's actually your
yeah,
body saying, hey, I need a little bit of help with this. You could be helping me out a little bit here. And these are all signals from
Yeah,
the body. Totally get this, recognize which foods make you slump. Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? But also I like what you said about the food cravings, because we can drag ourselves through low patches of the day with the wrong kind of stuff, because we just reach for the coffee or the biscuit or the
yeah,
and then
completely.
why are you feeling like that in the first place? So although that will pick you up, it doesn't pick you up for long in a good way, does it?
Yeah, completely, completely. When we're really sort of, a lot of the foods around cravings around energy are those quick release carbohydrates, so the like our sugary foods, and literally you can put them on your tongue and they can literally dissolve. And so they're straight into the blood, straight into the brain, straight into giving you that sort of sense of like, right, energy. But what that does is it stimulates the pancreas to produce insulin. Now, when we are in menopause and beyond, when our estrogen levels are low, we haven't got those protective properties. So us stimulating our pancreas to be constantly producing insulin is not a good thing. That's why the percentages of women getting type 2 diabetes in menopause and beyond is higher, because we've lost um, that protective level that estrogen gives us. So yeah, it's great being hungry. So that what we need to do is think about actually rebalancing, and making sure that the foods we're eating are actually much more nutrient dense. So they will give us the energy, but they'll give us the energy over longer periods of time. So yeah, so it's thinking about, in that snack or in that meal, where's the protein, where's the carbohydrates, and we're thinking the simple ones that are released quickly, but then the fruits and vegetables with the fibres that take longer to be sort of digested, and where's the fat. And we need those three components to actually stop the massive energy surges that we get. It sort of squeezes them within norms, because each of those food groups is digested slightly differently and over a slightly longer period of time. So what we're getting is basically a more constant flow of energy rather than that quick hit, which then our body will try and bring down, and it always brings it down lower. So that's why we go back on that roller coaster. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I like what you said about the foods, because I've talked about this before in lives, but you can't say, you can't stress it enough. Every meal needs to be a good balance of good quality protein, different types of fruits and vegetables, and the fats, because there's still a lot of women out there that are still following that low fat option,
yeah,
which we grew
completely.
up with. That's what we grew up with. All the low fat
Mhm.
stuff, fat is bad. Then the fats that we do eat, often that we were told growing up in our generation, were healthy. They're not, they're highly processed, they're
No,
not doing the body any good. It's way too much omega 6.
sick.
I just feel like I always go a little
Yeah.
bit, don't get your 3s and 6s wrong. And it's really interesting because there is still that, I feel there is still that habit that the fats that we're taking on quite often aren't good, and that we are still thinking that fats are bad, where they are vital for every part of the body,
Yeah,
aren't they?
completely. Yeah, completely. I mean, if we just start at the brain, sort of basically our brain's a jelly. I think we've laughed about this before, haven't we? That it's basically fat and water, so it's a jelly. And then every cell in the body is surrounded by a layer of fat. It protects the linings for all of our nerves. So if you think about all the things that potentially can go wrong as we age, really need fats to actually slow it down. And also, there's a lot of vitamins and minerals that we can only be released into the body via fat. So those fat soluble ones, which again are linked with anti-aging and good brain health. So you're completely right. And a lot of the myths about fats were actually really clever marketing, and we know that now, don't we? Because as a country, we were creating a lot of cereals, so they had to be the goodies, and then obviously fats became the baddies. So yeah, but yeah, you're completely right. Fat's
Yeah,
not fat's not like evil. It is really protective, particularly as we age. So yeah, yeah,
yeah, fats are friends.
They are our friends. They are our friends. And other cravings are telling us other things, aren't they? They're telling us that, you know, the whole chocolate one, for instance, you know, in a good quality chocolate, there's lots of magnesium, and magnesium again has been really depleted through our farming. But we need that for lots of function. So I see a lot of ladies that have perhaps got aches and pains, having problems going to the toilet, I get a bit buggy and foggy headed. And you know, magnesium really sort of helps. So the good old Epsom salt baths that nanas used to talk about is actually really useful for getting that magnesium in our bodies. So
yeah. And there's lots of ways you can do it, and magnesium comes in different forms, doesn't it? And that can be more beneficial for different types of functions in the body. But this is also,
completely.
if you guys are interested in that, you know, just drop Lesley a DM and she can give you some advice on that, because it is quite important that if you are going to start doing this stuff, you're doing it in the right way for the right reasons. Otherwise, you're not going to make. But yeah, magnesium is a massive one.
You can make things worse though, because I see that as well, where like people run out to the supermarket, because you can get vitamins and minerals in the supermarket and get, say, magnesium citrate, and then wonder why they then can't get off the toilet, because actually what they've done is actually put something that's a laxative. So I think particularly with magnesium, always just start with the Epsom salt bath, because you can't do any wrong with that. Where if you then add in high doses of supplements, that really needs to be checked against your medication, because there can be interactions. And yeah, nobody wants to be sat on the toilet all day, do they?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
That's a good one, because am I right in thinking that if you sit in salts, or if you use it as a foot bath, or if you have it as an oil which you can spray on your skin, I think your body just absorbs what it needs, doesn't it, that way? Am I right in saying that?
completely. And it doesn't bypass the liver, which is what happens when you take things in orally. So it gets sort of straight into the system without bypassing the liver. So you'll only take in what you need. You can't overdo it, and then you're not putting any strain on any other organs. So yeah. It's good for insomnia as well. The spray is really good. Sort of even just on your neck and shoulders before you go to bed, or on your feet.
And I was taught, I don't know if you were told this, that if you do use the spray and it itches, that's when you kind of know you need it. And because actually, when I got into that, I'm out of the habit currently, but when I was using it, I just spray it on the inside of my arms and rub it in. And then about a minute or two later, it would feel kind of salty, itchy. And after getting into the habit of using it every day, after a while, it stopped doing that. And someone said to me, yeah, while it's itching, it's because your body's going, yeah, I need that.
Yeah, it's like your nerves are tingling, going, come on, give me more.
Yeah, give me some more.
So yeah, exactly. I need more. Get it in me.
Yeah. So while we're talking about things like that, you've highlighted, you know, the problem areas, just the beginning of some of the problem areas that people might recognise in their day. What would you say are some good ways, some little quick wins for people that are watching now that are saying, yeah, that's me, you know, sluggish in the morning, bad after meals, or hyper at night, or waking up in the middle of the night too alert? What little 2 or 3 things could you recommend they start to try?
Okay, I'd start with the beginning hours of your day. So always make sure you have breakfast. And again, with those principles of you having those 3 food groups in your breakfast. So if you say I'm a porridge person, then it's actually ways of improving that. So start with your basics and just add to. So things like adding nuts and seeds, peanut butter, even chia seeds as you're cooking your porridge will lift the protein profile in your porridge. So always start with a really good breakfast. And then again, when we're aging, we can often find digestive problems. So then always make sure your last meal's at least 3 hours before you go to bed. And that usually suits the majority of us. And again, the same principle, your good quality proteins and fats, some starchy carbs, your fruits and your vegetables, more vegetables than fruits. There's only a small number of us need to have something before bed, but for some of us we do. But yeah, have the beginning and the end of your day really well, and then a really good lunch as well. So three good solid meals.
If you are one of those people that generally needs to have something small before they go to bed, I know that people can often make the wrong choice at that time in the evening. What would you suggest are the kind of things they should be looking for?
So you really need to be, if you're going to have something at that time, you really need something that's like a protein and a fat. So if you're not vegetarians, there some really good quality Greek yogurt. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Or maybe, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, maybe a couple of crackers with a little bit of cheese on it. Just something little, but it's just something that your body's going to be able to work on. And like I say, it's not for all of us, it's just for some of us. But just thinking about your protein, even a little bit of hummus, a little bit of peanut butter, either sort of with, a little bit of hummus with a couple of veggies, or peanut butter on a cracker or something. It just needs to be little. It doesn't need to be big. Because obviously then what you don't want is to be digesting all night and then your body not clicking into rest and repair.
Yeah. And that is very much for the minority, isn't it? So it's your proteins and your fats if you're someone that genuinely needs to do that late in the evening, but there's not that many of us that do. So yeah, 3 really good sensible meals each day. Look at what is genuinely nourishing you and making sure you've got a really good blend of those proteins, healthy fats, and lots of fibre, all your vegetables and a little bit of fruit. So that's really
completely
great.
And actually make sure that you put this on the go. Just, I mean, you're exactly the same. We're constantly drinking water and making sure that you're well hydrated so that your brain's not confusing hunger with thirst. So that's a really sort of really interesting one. I think sometimes we eat where we don't actually need to eat, where we actually just need to take more water on. She says taking more water on.
Yeah, and that's really, really important. And I remember being told that many, many years ago when I was quite young, when you're getting hungry, chances are you're actually just thirsty. So everyone, you all need to be really keeping yourself hydrated because that, keeps up your energy levels. It keeps your brain functioning well, it increases clarity, improves digestion. All the little communication pathways in your body work a lot better with the water. You've just got, and it doesn't have to just be actual water, does it? There's other ways to stay hydrated. Some people genuinely just struggle to drink a lot of water. What other ways would they hydrate?
I mean, there's lots of our vegetables and our fruits that contain high amounts of water. So if you think about, and some of them are a bit like, a bit boring, but anyway, so things like cucumber, things like watermelon. I mean, at the minute, if you've got any sun, watermelon's lovely, isn't it? Straight from the fridge, it is really, really refreshing. So, and if you are having enough fruits and vegetables, you will get water through those as well. But you need to be eating quite a lot of them. And what I wouldn't say is just automatically then start smoothieing everything down or juicing it down, because depending on what you use to juice, you're not going to get all the fibre, so you're not going to get those things. And for some of us, we can find it too much of an overload in our system. So in fact, our kidneys can sometimes struggle. So if you've maybe a bit more predisposed to kidney stones, or if you've got say a problem with sulfates and things like that, by juicing, yes, you're getting your fluid, but you can be getting, you can be putting things in that your body can struggle with to sort of break down. So I would, try your water first. Green teas, those fruit teas, again, are great. It doesn't have to be cold, it can be warm. So, those sort of warm drinks, and the more watery fruits and vegetables. So, yeah.
Yes, there's different ways of getting it in, isn't there? So and I'm good at getting into the habit of I do drink a lot of water, but also the herbal teas, and that just get it in you. So is there anything else? So guys that have been watching, thank you for joining us. If you've got any questions, pop them in the box. What I did want to ask you, I know that you're up to some stuff coming up quite soon, online events and other kind of things, and you've got a course out. How can the guys get in touch with you, start seeing how they can work with you? Because Lesley's knowledge is amazing. This is just, the amount of stuff. We did one once on it was on the menopause, the myth busting the menopause. It was amazing. It was incredible, and there was so much amazing feedback. So how can the guys approach you and work with you? What's going on with you at the moment?
Yeah, there's quite a few things. So just head over to my head over to my grid. If you go in my bio, there's some freebies there. So there's one called Fed Up to Fabulous, which is basically checklists for energy. So what's boosting your energy and what's depleting your energy. And there's some ideas in there. And it, like I say, there's some foods to eat. I've got it in front of me. So that's just completely free. I've got some freebies around sleep on there as well. I have got a course, and that is Exhausted to Energized. And I've had a little sneaky look, and what I'll do is for the next 48 hours, I'll put it back in at the discount price. So if people want that, that's a self-study. Honestly, I think we're the same. I've thrown everything at it. It's like War and Peace, but it's like 5 module self-study, and it looks at sleep, it looks at foods to eat, meal timings and things like that. It also has like a lifestyle aspect, so that's there for people if they want to get involved, and you can do as much or as little of that as you want, but it's there for a lifetime. I've got something tomorrow, which is a charity event. So it is again around menopause. So there'll be 3 things that we need to get in place straight away, and then there'll be some hints and tips around foods to eat, vitamins and minerals to take, but through your normal diet. There's a donation going out of the fees to a local charity for domestic violence. So we're doing our bit there, but then all the money goes back. So there's going to be prizes and bits and bobs as well. So it's 3 things you need to know to sail through menopause. So that's tomorrow night. So the details are in my bio for that as well, if anybody wants to come along. But yeah, just go over, send me a direct message. Have a look in my bio and click my LinkedIn, because there are a few freebies in there. The event for tomorrow's on there. I'll make sure that my course is at the discount price for people for a few days if they want to have a little look.
So the course is Exhausted to Energized, and you're going to have that as a special discount for a very short time.
I'll put it back on discount. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'll do it for £47. I said that when I launched it, and that would be the lowest ever, but I'll leave it. I'll put it back on at £47.
That's amazing.
And like I said, yeah.
Okay.
And I think as well. Sorry, somebody's saying bye.
I'm going to pop all this information on when I share this in a minute, so people can come and have a look. So I'm going to pop down about your amazing self-study course, which you've got lifetime access to. And, ladies, grab it quickly while it's £47, because I know what Leslie's like, and it'll be absolutely so packed with stuff for you. And yeah, your event tomorrow, which is Wednesday, 3 things to know to sail through menopause. It's going to be a really great online event with a charitable donation going to domestic violence protection. So I love it. I'm going to pop all that in there. So I think looking at the time, that's half an hour. Obviously, quite a nice time.
Oh my God,
that went really quick.
Yeah, I know, it's brilliant as usual. Next time, I don't know about these lunch times or not, Rachel. If the pair of us are going, I'm flying in.
I know.
I don't know when's the best time for these.
I know. We'll work it out for next time. But thank you so much. I'm going to pop this up, and then all the guys can come and follow you and learn so much. And yeah, just get themselves feeling great in menopause.
Brilliant. Oh, I was just brilliant as usual. But yeah, just pop along, and I'm around, and I'll get back to people as quickly as I can.
Love it. Thank you so much, Lesley.
All right then. See you soon, lovely.
Bye.
Bye.